My name's McKensey. I'm the current district treasurer and was a club treasurer for some 17 years. I'd like to talk to you about the preparation of your annual financial returns, which need to be completed for your annual general meeting. That must be held within at least 6 months of the end of the financial year. The board of the club is responsible for the preparation of these returns, but it's normally done by your treasurer. At the moment, the requirements of fair trading for the accounts to be audited do not apply to Tier 2 organisations or associations. They have turnovers of less than 250,000 and assets of less than 500,000, which applies to most Rotary clubs. The preparation of the financial returns should include the preparation of a profit and loss statement, which consolidates the trading results on both your club account, sometimes called administration account, and your project account, sometimes called your community chest. In addition, you need a separate income and expenditure statement for each of those two accounts. You should also prepare a balance sheet or financial position statement, which, where possible, separates the assets and liabilities into two groups. Those that belong to the club account and those which belong to the project account. These statements need to be reviewed by a competent person prior to being presented to the club. The competent person could be a qualified accountant or a Rotarian with considerable experience in the preparation of accounts, or a committee. However, when the review is completed, it should be recorded in the minutes of the board that they have been reviewed, by whom they were reviewed, and that they were deemed to be appropriate. The review should consider the following. One, that all bank transactions have been recorded in the accounts. Two, that all cash transactions have been included in the accounts and the accounts have been reconciled. If changes in equity on both statements changes in equity on both the statement of position and the profit and loss statements should be consistent, both when combined or separated into club and project assets. All transactions in the general ledger should be checked that they are consistent with the account on which they occur. For example, if you have a debit in an income account or an expense in an income account, or a receipt in a expense account, you need to be able to explain why. Where the club treasurer maintains the financial records on a computer system using software such as QuickBooks, MYOB, Xero, etc., the reviewers should have access to that system and be familiar with it. If they are not, you will need to provide them with hard copies of all useful reports. They should also have access to all primary documentation, that is bank records, receipts and payments. The finished financial returns should include a statement of your accounting policies, and that includes things such as that the entity is exempt from income tax, that the bank accounts are in the proper name or the full name of the organisation. The plant and equipment is carried at cost less depreciation. The cash and cash equivalents include cash on hand, held at call with the banks and other short-term deposits with maturities of 3 months or less. Obviously, if you have term deposits at longer than 3 months, that needs to be stated as well. The board should approve these accounts as being a true and accurate record of the financial affairs of the club before they are presented to the members of the club at the AGM. The auditor or the reviewer should prepare a statement which says what he is responsible for. He is not responsible for data entry. He is not responsible for the accuracy of data entry. That is the responsibility of the treasurer and the board. In addition, the report should include a certificate which includes basically which is executed by the treasurer and the president of the club after the annual general meetings, certifying that the records were presented to the members at the AGM and accepted by them. The circulation of the financial reports to members. The reviewed financial reports should be circulated 2 weeks before the annual general meeting, unless the annual general meeting includes special resolutions, in which case circulation of the notice needs to be 3 weeks before the meeting. The members of the club are invited to review and accept the accounts. They cannot change them. The acceptance basically should be the Rotary Club of whoever accepted the financial statements for the year ended 30th of June 2020, tabled at the annual general meeting held on a date, as providing a true and fair record of the club's financial performance. The minutes should also record that the members of it in attendance, apologies from financial members, the selection of a returning officer where necessary, and the name of positions, all members of the committee selected for the following year. It is important that you retain copies of financial records and the minutes of the annual general meeting. The financial records form part of those minutes and should be always held with them. Within 28 days, within 1 month of the AGM, the public officer should file a return with the Department of Fair Trading. It is not necessary to include a copy of the financial returns, but the form that you are required to complete contains details extracted from the financial returns. Filing the return involves the payment of a fee of $47. It is advised that you pay that first before you file the returns, because the return will not be accepted unless the payment has been made. They're the essential key points. It's not difficult, but it becomes very difficult if you leave it too late. Thank you.